You can, absolutely. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Definitely.
Well, welcome back. I'm sure we just went live on the internet, so we're all going to hang out with Noreen. That's okay. Let me make sure I've got the audio set up right. But yeah, you guys, I say I would agree. Your social media presence is fantastic.
Thank you.
And I think you get a real sense of personality.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right, slideshow. So today is our last day of Ignite. We're going to be talking about your business plan a little bit. But let's talk about the calls you just made. I want to hear about that because really, truly, there's nothing more important that we've talked about over the last 6 weeks than your lead generation systems. You can, and I hate to say it this way, but it's true, you can be a terrible real estate agent. But if you have good lead generation, you can be incredibly successful. I've known some, right, where you're like, you do 30 deals a year. You don't know the contract, right? And I'm not saying that should be you. That's just you're not a good fiduciary if that's you.
Yeah.
But your first need in real estate is leads. Because if you don't have them, the rest doesn't matter, right? Without a client, it does not matter how competent you are in the contract. You're not a lawyer, right? You're not a contract lawyer. You're a real estate sales person. You have to be able to sell real estate, right? So let's talk about those calls. How'd it go?
Good.
Good? How many? Tell me about that.
So I was able to talk to 6 people, and I just called people in my family.
Okay. That's okay. And so here's the thing. I actually kind of like that because I know there are some days where I'm like, ugh. So I have a list of easy calls, right? People I'm like, all right, I love talking to that guy, so I'm just going to call him. I probably call him too much, probably annoying, but it's an easy call.
Sometimes I feel like if I have to call like expireds or cold calls, which I hate, it helps to call someone.
Did I spell that right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah.
It helps to call someone that is easy to talk to. Just kind of,
Absolutely.
It just helps me ease into calling the harder.
Absolutely.
calls.
Absolutely. It's a warm-up call, right? It's an easy call, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I love that. And so yeah, you can go out of your role play into, all right, I'm going to call my best friend, I'm going to call my aunt, I'm going to call my mom, then I'm going to do some cold calls, or I'm going to call the person I haven't talked to in 6 months because I'm warmed up, I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
That's great. That's really, really good. And in your database, you're going to find that there are different levels of people, right? In the middle are your allied resources. Those should be easy calls. So yeah, start with those people. Then there are people that you're in relationship with. You call them our Mets, right? And then there are people that we want to meet. This is totally illegible. I don't know why you bothered. Right? And so your goal is to move people through to the middle. This is the lead generation model. And then there's the general public, right? So what we need to focus on is the people we've already met, the people we've met, right? This should be our highest priority. And then after we've exhausted all this, now we work into want to meets, right? So it's good to start with that. Okay, what else? Anybody else? Come on. Yeah.
I talked to 6.
All right.
And got voicemailed or not answered to 6.
Oh, wait. So you had 6 and left 6 voicemails?
Ish and text messages.
Ish?
I spoke to 6.
You spoke to 6.
And in the other 6, they were either voicemails or text messages.
Good. That's fantastic. Okay,
Yes.
good. So 6 out of 10. Okay, good. Tyrone.
I called about 5, but the problem is the conversations were too long because I talked to people and I started finding out where they're at.
Okay, so you talked to 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got caught up on all their family stuff more.
I heard you.
And that's not. I'm always going to
No, that's good. It's good. It's funny.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's not a bad thing, and particularly as we're getting started.
But I called those that I knew that they had access to grandkids and this type of things.
Yeah. So here's what I love about that. That's good. It's good. I hope you put the data in your CRM, right? But the other thing that you want to be aware of though is purposeful, right? Hey, we can just keep talking forever. This is one of my favorite lines because it's true. I could talk to you all afternoon, but I made a commitment. I'm going to talk to X number of people today about this event, so I got to run. But can I call you back later? Good. Okay. When would be the best time to call you? Well, usually afternoons. Right. I'm going to put a note on my calendar to call you this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Does that work for you? Okay. Good. Now I've got an appointment. Right. Now it's more intentional. So they're just saying it's good. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic. But be purposeful. Eyes on the prize, right?
Mhm.
And I am very, like, if I'm doing lead gen calls, I'll tell people, hey, I could talk to you all day, but if I don't call more people, I can't sell any houses, so can I call you back this afternoon so we can just catch up, right? Or, hey, I gotta walk back into this room in about 30 minutes, and my coach is gonna ask me if I call 10 people, and if I just talk to you for the rest of this time, he's gonna yell at me, right? Right, that kind of, so fine, just own it. Own it,
Mhm.
right? Just be authentic. All right, how many calls?
6.
6. Eric?
Yes.
Okay, good, all right.
I talked to 2.
You, wait, hold on. You talked to 2?
Yes.
That's
I
not a
read
6, that's a
voicemails.
2. All
Try to
right,
sneak
2.
that in there.
Two.
I called 6. I talked to 2.
confident.
Okay, call 6, talk to 2. Okay, good. Jenny?
5.
5, all right.
And I got the same as Tyrone. One lady took a solid 20 minutes on
All right, then we'll say the same thing I said. Okay, good. Hey, guys, come
Uh,
on. So, okay, good. Yeah, Roberta?
Does it count if you call them and with the voicemail they said text me?
If you had a two-way text conversation, it counts.
So
Okay.
7.
7, Roberta. All right, with the loophole. Okay, good. Jess? 2. Come on, you're like a Z generation or something. You should be like
X, Y, or what
X,
is it?
Y. I don't even
I
know.
can't
Some
remember.
alphabet, right? I'm X, right? I'm X generation. So 2. So 2 out of 10, Jess. All right, good deal. Who you call?
My friends.
Okay. And?
Just their friends that I haven't talked to.
Okay. Good. So why only 2? Did you get talking or?
Just talked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So same thing I said to Tyrone, I said to Roberta, right? Hey, I could talk to you all afternoon. Or my gosh, I don't know why we don't talk more often. Can I call you this afternoon? I really have to get these calls done right now. Own it, right? Okay. Remind me your name, so I'm blanking.
Mitchell.
Mitchell, because you're like new, though,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. So
sorry.
it's not my fault. Okay. Good. Mitchell. Okay. Good. Mitchell, how many?
I called 10 and I talked to 3.
3 out of 10. Okay. So that's important. Mitchell. And if I spell your name wrong, is that right? 2 L's, 1 L?
Yeah.
2?
2 L's.
Okay, so you thought I put 2 L's, I didn't.
Oh,
All right, good, okay, good. Let's see, who I'm gonna talk to yet? Yep,
I called 4.
yep.
I only called 4, but I got text, then I sent them a text.
You only called 4?
Only called 4.
This is my judgment face right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, because I was having a difficult
Okay.
time. I called them and also I text them, telling them that I was sending them a copy.
How many did you have contact with?
And then 4 of them said one that they won't be able to make it, one of them congratulated me, and the other one said I'll see.
So we had 4 text conversations?
Mhm.
Okay, good. Remind me your first name, I'm blanking.
Joe.
Joe, okay. So Joe, I'm gonna count that as 4 out of 10, but I'm being generous. Okay, good. All right, David.
I called 12 and I talked to 7.
So 7 out of 10.
I heard him too.
Thank you. I was worried. I didn't trust, he's got that hoodie on. I thought, you can't trust that. Okay, good. All right. Sorry. Katie.
So I talked to 1. I
One.
called 3,
Mhm.
left voicemails on the other 2, and then I got this bright idea to text my 2 church groups. One has 12 people in it, one has 6, so they're responding now.
Okay.
They're-
All right, good. So we were adding that up. We had 1 call, and then we're kind of numbers are coming in. Okay, good. Okay, remind me your name in the back.
Monica,
Monica. Okay, and how many?
I made 5 phone calls, I spoke to 4.
That's good numbers. All right, Monica, 5 out
One of them
of.
hung up on me.
What?
Oh.
Family member, he was just kidding with me.
That's awesome. Okay. 4 or 10. Good. And then Kristen. I already got you in the beginning. Sorry. Yes. 6 out of 10. Did I get everybody? Okay, good. Take a look at the number. You had 60 minutes to do your work. How did you use that time?
I think we did pretty good.
Well, I'm not
I feel for
saying,
myself.
okay, good, all right, yes. Now, but you had 60 minutes. If you, to get 10, you would have had to do 1 call every 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, so
You had to
it
have one
kind of
conversation
averages
every
out
10
like a
minutes,
10-minute conversation
Yep,
for me,
yep.
for each one.
So hey, I'm proud of you, because you did the work, right? But I want you to challenge yourself now, because we're getting sense of ratios. You can look at this and you can say, okay, I had 6 conversations, I called X number of people. How many people do I need to talk to get to 10? Right, what's my percentage? Now you can say, well, it took me an hour to talk to 6 people. Can I speed that up? If I sped that up, could I get my 10 in an hour? Or am I gonna need, how much time? So now I can look at my calendar and I can block. I need to talk to X number of people. I need to spend about this much time doing it. And if I do that every day, on average, let's say 20 people to a lead, then I may be getting lead every 2 days. Which may or may not be enough for your business, but now you've got a mindset around it, right? So here's what I want to get to, and the whole point of what we teach at Keller Williams. Real estate success is not an accident. It's not. It is not chance. It is not for the special few who have the salesperson personality. It is absolutely the result of consistent effort doing the things that matter. It is absolutely the result of being comfortable being uncomfortable, right? It's making yourself do the things that you don't want to do, but you know will make the biggest difference, right? I went and did squats last night at 9:30. I hate them, right? I also don't like the way my pants fit right now. Is that so I can choose, right? I can ignore that, or I can go for it. You may not like the way your bank account looks right now. Go do the squats, right? Get a big bank account. So weird. I'm going to use a different metaphor. I did bench press last night. Okay, that's better. Right, but I did leg work last night. And I did it. Tonight I've got to do something else. But does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So look at your bank account. Do I love the way it looks? Well, then I'm probably not doing my work. If I love the way it looks, then who cares? This is just a hobby. If I don't love the way it looks, this changes everything. Right? So that's the mindset we've got to get in around that. So hey, how you think matters. How you think in the beginning really matters. Right? You have, now we're 6 weeks through this. And so that idea of I'm new, you're not anymore. I'm just starting out, you're not. I keep saying this, you have a level of expertise the general population does not have. You are an asset to the people in your life who have questions about real estate, right? You really, truly are. And so it's time to own that. It's time to start telling that story, right? It's time to wake up every day and decide to be awesome, right? Even when you don't feel like it. I just can't help it, right? But it's the way it is. So you too, right? You too. All right, so mindset matters. What's your mindset? Are you aligned with your heart? Are you ready to take action to have a successful day? So one of the things we talk about, and make sure I'm not getting ahead of my slides, but one of the things we talk about is journaling every day, right? Why do you journal every day?
To maybe help start a habit?
Yeah, but why?
So you can see.
Just see your progress.
See your progress, yeah? Get your head right. Get your head right, right? Because sometimes when I write my problems down, I realize I sound like a middle schooler. It's kind of silly. But when I start adding up my blessings, I realize, whoa, right? And so what's your mindset? Are you aligned with your heart? And so journaling is a great way to get in touch with your mindset. We've got our mindset with Mary Baez and her team, our mindset Thursdays, I believe. And are you ready to take action to have a successful day? What do you say to yourself when you go to bed at night to prep yourself for the next morning? Right? Is it, oh God, I gotta get up tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Or thank you God, I get to get up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are how you choose to prime yourself for your day. So our belief system is part of that, right? Are you, is your heart aligned? And I love our belief system because I think this will make you better in every area of your life. I cannot think of one area of your life where this is going to make you less successful. It will absolutely make you more successful in real estate. You know, and I look at these win-win or no deals, right? That's going to make me better with my family. It truly is. It's going to make me better with my kids, right? So when I talk to my teenage son, or my now adult son, who sometimes I'd want to shake, I have to understand him, right? Communication, seek first to understand, right? And then can we find a win-win where he feels like he's developing his adulthood, and I don't want to murder him, right? These are two things we have to figure out. But our belief system, it's more than just something we put on the wall. It is truly who we seek to live at. As you go out to make your calls, you're bringing this into the world, and you're making the world a better place with it. I love this company because it's not just about money. In fact, it's not about money. That's the secret, right? It's about we make our communities stronger. We make our legacies stronger, right? So I love that about us. So revisit your value proposition, we worked on our value proposition, I don't know how many weeks ago. I think Ray did that with you guys. Do you remember that, or did I do that? Who did that with you?
Great.
Your unique value proposition. You should have that in your books right now. You should have it in your minds right now. Go, if you've got it in your books, go pull your books up and take a look at it. If you don't, see, wherever you keep it. If you haven't defined it yet, we're going to give some thought to it. But am I confident sharing my value proposition with my contacts? If not, how can I make it easier to express my value? Everyone want to share that value proposition with me?
What page is it on?
I have no idea.
20.4. 20.4.
Roberta, you are on fire.
Point,
Roberta is the answer person. Right? All right.
4.1,
4.1 is what I got.
Yeah.
So here's where I'm identifying an issue right now. We're going through this class, and you were challenged to create your unique value proposition. We spent a good day on it. I'm trying to log into my. And why do we do that? We do that so that you have it as something you can use to share with your clients, really to instill confidence in yourself. I know why people should work with me, right? And now I just ask my group, does your value proposition truly reflect who you are? And most of us are like, wait, where do I find it? Are you internalizing it, right? Like the road to mastery is an everyday road. It's something we want to look at. So that value proposition, it might be a good idea to type that out and put it on the wall someplace where you encounter it every morning. Put it in your bathroom, on your mirror, right? Put it on the refrigerator. Put it wherever you are. Take it to your computer, right? But acknowledge it, make it part of you, assimilate it, and if it's not true, rewrite it so you can believe it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So, am I confident sharing my value proposition to my contacts? What would you say? Are you?
I think so, yeah.
I
would.
think-
Why
I
not?
probably agree
the
with
more transparent, I feel like, because the reason why, and I think I missed this class, but the reason why I even got into real estate was genuinely to help people. Like
Yeah.
that's what's in my heart. I really just want to help people and make people happy.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's the answer to that, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, why should I work with you, Noreen?
because I'll try hard. I'll do everything in my power to get you what you need. I'm transparent and I'm great at communication, and I genuinely care.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Very good. What else? Why should I work with you, Eric?
Buying a home is the biggest transaction, one of the biggest transactions, and I would want someone to work with me and have my best interests. So I'm going to do that for you.
Okay. All right. Good. So one of the things I want to zero in on the value proposition, I had this conversation with my office too. Why would someone be an agent at Keller Williams? What's our unique value proposition, right? It's something we always have to be defined on. But so if I'm a newer agent, why should I work with you? Well, let me ask you this. If you're going to look for a doctor, do you want one who's been doing it for 40 years, who's getting ready to retire, and who's on autopilot, or do you want someone who's brand new, hungry, has all the latest information, and is in training regularly to make sure that they're providing the highest quality of service. And they got something to prove.
That's good.
That's
Yeah.
me. That's me, right? I'm not resting on my reputation, I'm making it. And you're just my first step. That may be good, it may be bad, right? But it's confident, right? So think about that, right? Why should I work with you? Well, you know what? David, you're kind of a young guy. You're new at this. Why should I work with you? Well, you're right. I am a young guy. I'm hungry. I'm also part of the largest real estate company in the world. 1 out of every 5 homes was sold by a Keller Williams agent. I'm taking all of that knowledge and expertise that's behind me, and I'm leveraging it to give you the best experience possible in the sale of your home.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Right. So I also speak Spanish. Right, but that's so. This is it. So that's your value proposition, right? Why should I work with you, Tyrone?
Knowledgeable, professional, use the tools to leverage what's going on in the market to that are new and upcoming, things that weren't there in the past. So.
Yeah. Chris, here's what I would say maybe if I'm you. A lot of people come to real estate because they're looking for what they're going to do. I spent a career in the Postal Service. I did everything I could do there. And so what I'm bringing to you is the knowledge, experience of someone who's run organizations at a high level, and I run my real estate business with all of that. And now I've teamed up with the largest real estate company in the world, so I can bring my knowledge and expertise, and I can pair it with all of that, and I can serve you better than anyone else you're going to possibly work with, right?
That's great.
Your past is your strength, right?
Yeah.
Your past is your strength, right? So I say that, I want you guys to know it. So think about that. What is my value proposition? Am I confident sharing with my contacts? If I'm not, how can I make it easier to express my value? You have to believe you have the value, and you do. And if you don't, you have to tell yourself you do enough times that you do. The easiest way to get someone to believe it is tell it to them over and over again, and you can. All right, revisit your big life. What's your vision, your future, right? What is it that you're working for? What is your big why? One thing all high achievers have in common is that they're working for big why. The big why is about having a purpose, a mission, a need that in turn gives you focus. I want to make $1 million. It's not good enough. Why? Well, I don't want to have to worry. Not good enough. Why? Okay, why? Well, because growing up, we always were there was a lot of stress in the family. I could tell my parents were stressed out and worried, and I worried. I don't want my kids to have to go through that. Okay, why? And keep answering until there's nothing else behind me, because I want them to have the best lives possible. I want them to have security. I want them to have the financial freedom. I want them everything. Okay, now we know what we're working for. All right, what's your big why? I'm not, big whys are hard for me, right? So here's what I'm going to say. I always find a big why, I'm like, oh, it's not perfect. Good, run with it. Adapt, right? But start, no. What makes you passionate? What makes you smile when you just think about it, right? That's your big why. And for some of you, it might be a big house with a water slide and a park, like a lazy river, right? Some of you, it might be a nonprofit foundation that serves, orphanages in Mexico. That might be your big why. I don't know what your big why is. But it's the one that you go, if I don't work today, I'm letting that down. If I don't get my work done today, I'm never going to be able to build that orphanage in Mexico. I'm never going to be able to help those kids, right? So if I don't get uncomfortable, they're going to be way more uncomfortable. That's why I work. That's a big why, right? If I don't get really uncomfortable today, then I'm going to be really uncomfortable when I'm in my 70s and I want to retire, right? So I'm being good to future me. I want to work hard today and be uncomfortable today because I want to be very comfortable then. That's a big why, right? So know your big why. Because you're after extraordinary results is why it's big, and why it's the reason you get up every day and do what you do, right? I will say this about a big why. It's okay for it to be unachievable. It's okay for it to be bigger than you, and sometimes that's better, right? So the big why. Tony Robbins, right, very famous, his big why is to end hunger. I don't think he's going to be able to do it, but he can do a lot for it, right? What's your big why, right? It's big because you're after an extraordinary life. Why is what you get up to do every day. A big why powers a big life. All right, it's what we go back to, what keeps us moving. It's what gets us up and in the gym or in the office. It's what says 6, I could do better, right? right? It was said, well, 10's low, I'm gonna do 20. I could do better, right? So, example, so why do I work out? I'm not like I was not like a crazy jock, right? I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna be like, I work out because my youngest kid is 5. And so when he's 18, I'll be 60. So when he has kids, I'll probably be like 70 something. I want to babysit those kids. Does that make sense? So if I don't start working on that now, I'm not going to be able to babysit those kids. If I skip the gym, his wife and he and his wife someday are probably not going to be able to go on dates where they needed us for a weekend. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It might sound ridiculous, but to me, like I'm thinking, I want to be able to give them a weekend away. So I got to be healthy when I'm in my 70s. That means I have to eat right and take care of myself today. That's a big why, right? That's what, so why am I working right now? Because you know what I want to be able to do? I've said this before. I want to take, and again, I'm in my 40s, but I think about my grandkids way too much. I want to be able to take them to Disneyland without them knowing I took them, right? That's a big why. I want that life for them. I want them to have that place we go to that was magical, right? Because I had that, my wife had that, but that's a big why, right? So what's your big why, right? So think about that. It powers a big life. World changers are these people, right? And I love it because in every family's legacy, there's usually one person who changes the direction. You might be that person in your family. Or you might be living on a legacy that was created and you're just going to make it better. But you have the opportunity, and literally you could look at your family tree and be like, it was crooked and bent and kind of gross looking. And all of a sudden it shot up and got healthy from this point on. Because I had a big why and a big life. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Ahas. Sam, come on in, we got ahas. What's your aha? Oh, do you need me to go out?
Real quick.
All right, talk about the ahas amongst yourselves. Go. I was probably very inspiring. You can talk about that.
I know,
Okay, good.
I was inspired.
Yeah,
I think I want
it happens. Good. Hey, it's Sam's birthday today, guys.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves. Yes, I would love something. I will take.
Things change as you get older, 65. So I've been in a situation where you are, when you get into this age, whether you're going to retire, you go to the doctor quite a bit, trying to get yourself sorted. So when I go to a doctor, this is my
After the 12th year.
I get a new guy and I know he knows all the technology and I know he's on top of the studies and he's involved in ethics training. But I have moved away from 2 of the guys and I've actually seeked out the older guy. Because the older guy is maybe 40 with same thing what I'm doing at 60. Now I'm 65. Get through that where the young guy hasn't.
All right, folks. Sorry about that. What's your ahas?
Look at this, look at that. You gotta count.
What's your ahas?
Well, the thing, I was just telling you, the thing that you say to your kids in the morning, I'm gonna go be awesome today.
Yeah. It's funny, you know. You can mistake. So I was with Gary Keller a couple weeks ago, and he's cocky. You can kind of get, look, that guy's cocky. But then I realized something. He's not. He's just fiercely humble. Does that make sense? Like he is acutely aware of what he doesn't know, and confident in what he does, right? And I guess what it means is he's confident being Gary Keller, right? So I just think, you know, look at the real estate agents who do really well. They're okay being them, right? So wake up and be awesome today. What does that mean? I'm just going to be me. I'm going to go be me well, right? Yeah. So, yeah.
When you said that your past is your strength.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember, like because I was in customer service, I'm like, I'm used to customer service.
I got 30 years of customer experience. I don't know how many years, but I got 15 years of customer experience. Of customer service experience. I'm bringing all that too, so I can guarantee you there's going to be nobody more prepared to deal with your questions, all that, than I am, right? So while other realtors, you have to find them, I'm going to find you, right? There you go. Absolutely, your past is your strength. I have a degree in theater and a degree in history. Right, those are my 2 degrees. Okay, did you see it? I mean, does it make sense? There's a little drama in the room? Okay, fine. I use it. I'm just going to bring who I am. Right? Okay. What else?
I think the value proposition is the top thing for me, because you don't really give yourself the credit that you really should have, whether it's past experience, life experiences, or I've always got to think I've got to have the latest data in my head to spew out, and until I'm really comfortable. So I kind of sell my value proposition a little low because I didn't know what the market did this morning or last week. I'm trying to, so I got to get away from that and just be a little more comfortable with maybe this is what's happening last month.
Right, or just be comfortable with you,
Yeah.
right? People don't care, I mean, listen, knowing the market data is important, be the expert, right? But what they're buying is you, right?
Exactly.
So, you know, so why should I work with you? It's not, why should I sell my house right now? And that is a question you have to deal with. But ultimately, when you're in a listing presentation, it's, why should I work with you, right? So be confident in that. Okay, what else? Anybody other offers? All right. So today we're going to go how to have a smart money business, right? And that's really what we're going to be looking at today. We talked about success systems already. We're going to continue to do that. But right now, our first thing is how to have a smart money business, which we've been talking about. The 6 core competencies of a business. Somebody want to read those out to me? It is an eye chart. You can look at the screen behind you. It's too far away. It's getting further every day.
Lead generate, capture, and convert to appointments.
Yeah. Was that, what number is that?
1.
1. Absolutely. So if there's nothing, let me put it this way. If you don't have any presenting to buyers or sellers on your calendar, what do you need to do?
Lead gen.
Lead generate. If you have no appointments to go show buyers or market sellers, what do you have to do?
Lead gen.
All right, okay, good. If you have no contracts to write, what do you have to do?
Lead gen.
You see a trend here? Because if you don't have any leads, I guarantee you've got no money to manage, right? So, okay, so this is our core competencies. Number 2, what's number 2?
Present to the buyers and sellers and get an agreement.
Yep. How do you get good at that if you don't have any buyers or sellers?
Practice.
How do you practice?
Forms.
Yeah, you can just practice filling out the form, that's true. What else? How else do you practice?
Role play.
Role play, absolutely. Katie, thanks for having me over today. I'm excited to tell you about the value of your home, but before we do that, tell me a little bit about why you're thinking about selling. Right? That's role play. Now Katie's like, oh crap, are we doing this right now? Yes. You can walk into this office every single day, sit down with somebody and do exactly that. Gary Keller used to walk into his role play partner's office and be like, hey, you thinking about buying or selling? Like he'd walk in, he'd just launch in the scripts, and then they would role play. And then they go out and do the calls, right? You are a gift to each other if you will take advantage of it. You have the most supporting, caring office you could imagine if you'll take advantage of it. Or you could be a lone wolf, and lone wolves die. Period. Right? Okay, what's number 3?
Show buyers and market sellers.
Show buyers and market sellers. How do you practice showing buyers?
Go to open houses or schedule showings or go to open houses.
Yeah, do open houses, absolutely. That's one way to get some experience on it. Right? What else?
Preview homes.
Preview homes. Roberta, that's like I should have a tally for every answer. Yeah. Preview homes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So right now, you could spend the morning doing your lead generation. Then if you got no appointments, you can either do more lead generation or you can go see 10 houses. Pick up the phone, call the agent. Hey, this is Chris from Keller Williams. I'd like to see your home on blah, 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 blah. Or I'm previewing for clients. Well, the home's not available to see. Okay. So you don't want to sell the home? Right, no, or you could just go look for vacant properties. Go see model homes. Practice calling agents. A lot of them will say, text me. Practice texting agents. Because you're starting a relationship there. Right? So practice it by previewing homes. Go together. Do not go preview homes alone. Right? Just as a safety thing. And I've walked into homes with people living in them who weren't supposed to be there. You don't know what you're going to run into. So make sure you're previewing together, and that's good because then you're like, all right, you be the buyer, I'll be the agent, right? Okay, what I do good, what I do bad. Go work with your mentor. They're going to help you go preview homes. You're going to practice this together as well, right? Cool. Number 4, right? Negotiate contracts. How do you practice it? Roberta already kind of said it. Pull up zip forms, win forms, and just fill them out. Fill them out. Pull a property off the MLS, make an offer on it. list your own home. Right? You don't have to put your house on the market, but you could go through the process. Hey, can I get a property profile on this property? It's my parents' house, right? Good. And then go through the process of listing it, and then go to your parents and go through the presentation if you're living at home. If you're a homeowner, try to list it with your spouse or your significant other, right? If you really want it, go ahead and list it. Set the price at what you would sell your home for. We talked about this, right?
I was just gonna tell you, I had this conversation with my husband this past weekend.
Yeah.
He said, you can list it for 1.8, and I don't care if you decide you wanna list it and put it for sale and put a sign out in front of our house, but 1.8.
Yeah, would you take it? I'd take 1.8.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
totally, yeah.
If somebody came in,
But
my
if-
husband said, I'm really worried that somebody may come in at that, and I'm like, yeah, me too.
If they did, we're gonna figure out how we invest that 0.8, right? You know, like,
Right.
so, but yeah, so that's another way. So, but again, so go practice on people in the real world, right? Call your family members. Hey, I wanna come over and list your home. We're not getting ready to sell, I know, but humor me, right? We'll go through it. All right, so here's what I want you to do. Don't be nice to me. Right? I'm gonna come in, and I want you to negotiate against me. And I'm gonna have to prove my value and get good at that, right? So just practice that. What do you risk there?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Mhm.
Maybe looking silly,
Mhm.
right? I'd rather look silly in front of somebody who loves me,
Mhm.
right? So, okay, coordinate the sale to closing. How can we practice that? You could ride along with your mentor, right? You can get in touch with an agent who's here and say, hey, do you have anything that just opened escrow that I can kind of ride along on? I mean, I just like to sit in on it. You can set up that fake listing or that fake buyer, and you can go ahead and go through the motions of getting quotes for things, right? So we opened escrow today. Now I've marked out my timeline of when inspections have to happen. I'm gonna call inspectors and just get to know their offerings, right? I'm gonna call termite companies and get to know their offerings. I'm gonna call photographers and get to know their offerings, right? So I'm gonna get that knowledge. So when I get to those points, I'm not like, oh crap, what do I do? Right? You can go through the mock process, but you can set it up and manage the money. How do you practice that?
Budgets and.
Personal finances.
Mhm.
Your budget, yeah. Set up a budget for your own personal finances right now. Right? Start planning on a budget right now. Start tracking how much you're spending versus how much is coming in right now. It's the first step towards wealth. And you can do that right now. Set up the bank accounts now. Right? So my checks go into my business account. I've already set that up. Right? How much am I going to spend out of those checks that come in as income, and how much am I going to spend as investment in my business? Decide now. Right? And start setting those things up. Right? So those are things you want to look at. So, okay, but you can practice it now. Sorry, where your commission dollars go, we talked a little bit about this, but the other agent, right? Have we been through this slide before? Yeah, okay. The other agent, your market center, your business expenses, right? Sorry, your market, so the other agent gets half. You have your split with market center until you cap, and then you're 100% of that much, right? So if you're taking a commission and they're coming in and they're saying, well, I'm only gonna list it for 1.5% or 3% total. Well, then you're gonna get half of that.
Mhm.
So understand, if you're gonna get good at math, know this math a little bit, right? I'm not a good math person. So what is 1% of 500,000? 5,000. What's 5 times 3? 15,000. Okay, I can figure that out, because that's 3%. So 3%, 15,000 times 2, 30,000. So what's a total 6% commission? $60,000, right? Of which I get half. Good. Sorry. And then boom, your market center, your business expenses. Plan on having some. And then your take-home expenses, right? Or probably taxes. Plan for taxes. Plan for taxes. Prepay your taxes. If you prepay your taxes and you overpay, you know what happens?
You get a refund.
You get a refund. Good. If you don't prepay and you underpay, you know what happens?
You owe.
You get a fine. Right?
Oh.
You owe and you get a fine. Yes. Absolutely. I have lived that. It's not fun. And then you have your take home. Okay, so a financially sound business. You're going to have your commission at $9,000. Pay the order of Jessica Campbell, $5,760. your personal bank account, and then Jessica's wallet, $5,060. Is this a sound business? No. You have $9,000 comes in, pay the order Jessica Campbell. We go to business account, $1,728. Personal bank account, $4,032. Tax savings of $1,613. Jessica gets $2,419. Federal and state gets $996, and self-employment gets $617. Right? So the point is, and I know this is an eye chart, is think about these things. I would recommend an accounting software, something like QuickBooks is good. If you're not, or for personal finances, Mint, a spreadsheet is great too, right? So if you just set up a spreadsheet with the formulas and you add in the gross commission, you can add formulas for each one of those blocks so that you know what goes where, right? And then just follow the play. Because I absolutely know the pressure of, I just got a check, $14,000, woo, right? You have to make sure you're planning to pay the taxes. Nothing is as constant as death and taxes, right? Okay, money is good for the good that it can do. We talked about our big why, right? And so we want to really focus on this. You'll hear me say money is good for the good that it can do a lot. Because I firmly believe it. I'm a mission guy. I'm not a money guy. But I can do a lot more mission with the money, right? So money is good for the good that it can do. So the flow of your money, income is what comes in, expenses is what goes out, profit is what's left. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So, what is wrong with this? Right? Or what are you looking at here?
You're going backwards?
Yeah, so profit. So no, what we're looking at here is we're planning from the back, right? So income comes in, profit, right? Okay. So if I'm planning my business, we went through this in our business planning day, right? How do I make sure I get to what I need? I start with the end in mind. So what I start with is how much profit do I want? Right? It's not how much income I want, it's how much profit I want. If I know how much profit I want, then I need to know how many homes I have to sell to get there. And then I have to know how can I minimize my expenses to maximize the net income, right? So what you're planning for is not, you don't start with the how much money. It's now, okay, I need to know what I need to do to get there. I always set my business plan. So again, we're just going to go through cost of, have we done this before? I feel like this is a review slide today, but cost of sale. The cost of your sale is expenses related to each transaction. The cost of making the sale. What are some cost of sale things? I just went over this with an agent on the phone a couple minutes ago. What are your costs of sale?
Sign,
Marketing.
marketing.
Well,
Cost of sale.
cost of sale. Are signs a unique expense every time you have a sale?
No,
No.
no.
That's operating expenses.
Got it.
What's a cost
Gas?
of sale? I'm gonna say gas is probably operating expense.
Okay. I mean,
Snack.
I mean, you have to
Staging
market
them.
it.
What's that? Staging. Staging, yeah.
Photography.
Yeah, marketing, sure.
Sometimes we've had to pay cleaners. I don't know if that would,
Yeah, cleaners. Can be.
and landscaping, had to do that too.
Yeah. Prep, let's put prep there.
Mhm.
So staging, marketing, cleaners, prep, yes. Anything that you have to pay out to get that home sold,
Yep.
that you wouldn't have to pay out if you didn't sell a home, right?
Mhm.
And so my commissions, my company dollar, that's, right? Am I paying a referral fee? Yes. A royalty on it? Yes. So all of those things are costs of sale. So right now, sitting in this room, I'm not incurring any of those expenses. But the minute I sell a house, I have these expenses, that's cost of sale,
Mhm.
right? How is that different from operating expense?
Operating vary.
Operating is gonna be things you always have to do.
Yeah, it's just the cost of doing it, man. So operating expense, you have to pay for your car, right?
Gas,
Gas, absolutely.
signs.
Signs,
Business card.
yep. Business cards, operating expenses.
Clothes.
Overhead, right? Clothes, sure, you can, you gotta be careful on that, but yes. Right? Insurance, right? Professional services, like my CPA, I'm gonna have to pay her regardless, right? Equipment and supplies, education. So what I want you to look at both of these things is, you're gonna have a budget for both, right? So the operating expenses, I like to think of them as fixed expenses. This is what you're gonna pay, it's the cost of doing business, it's your overhead, right? What's your budget for that for the year? You can go through right now, you can work with your mentor, and you can set your operating expenses costs. You can know that number. It's my business cards, I'm a vendor, do it, sweet. It's my marketing, I'm a vendor, do it, sweet. Okay, it's my signs. Crap, I gotta do that. Okay, good, right? It's my my tech fee, right? Okay, I can add that up. I can know right now what that is. Cost of sale, I can also add up based on how many homes I want to sell and the average price of the home I sell. I can estimate that. I'm gonna create my budget. But knowing these two things is important. And if you do and you watch these, you're gonna be ahead of most real estate agents. Because most real estate agents have two accounts. Money coming in, money coming out. And it's all out of their personal, right? But you're gonna set it up so you've got a business account, you have a budget, and you're keeping books so you know your profit and loss statement. Because, and I'm working with top agents on this right now, you can get to the end of the year as a top agent and have huge operating expenses and little profit, right? Now, a millionaire real estate agent typically has a 30-30-40. It's 30% cost of sale, 30% operating expense, and 40% profit, which is a pretty good profit margin. As a new agent, you're gonna have much lower cost of sale and much lower operating expenses, right? So your take home is probably gonna be closer to 70% after you do taxes and various other things, right? So just something to be aware of, but know it and adjust it, right? So, best practices. Gain clarity on your big why and your plans for the future. You should know that. Set your personal business budgets. Open a bank account for taxes, expenses, and other savings. Download and use the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Chart of Accounts. You can go to kwconnect.com, you can look up MREA Chart of Accounts, you're gonna get a massive spreadsheet there, and you just start keeping track of where you're spending money. Purchase or download tax accounting software. I really like QuickBooks. It's what I use, it's what my accountant is familiar with. Hire an accountant or CPA, attorney, or tax advisor. Let me ask you something. If you have no business, should you hire a CPA right now?
No.
What should you do once you get business?
Hire a CPA.
There should be a plan, right? There should be a budget for it. You should revisit that budget monthly. Set dates to calculate and pay your estimated taxes. Right now, my accountant is like, hey, did you pay your estimated taxes? And I was like, I don't know. So I said to my wife, do we pay our estimated taxes? She was like, no. We did for our S Corp, we didn't for our personal. Right? So we're paying a little fine on that. Prepare for your future, insurance, savings, and investments. What we're saying here is run your business like a business, right? Cool. Think and act the wage you want before you earn it. Average is average. Good is as good does. And great is as great does. What you do is who you become. All right, what's your takeaways when you read that? Because I've got some thoughts, but I want to hear yours. Think and act the wage you want before you earn it.
Buy Mercedes. No.
Just your mindset. I mean, how you present yourself and
Yeah.
everything you do.
Yeah. Any thoughts on this? Yes.
It's like that whole think a million, like carry yourself like you already have $1 million, and it's just a matter of like getting to that point. Like you already have it, but just taking the steps to actually make it tangible.
Mm-hmm. Here's where I want to put this. I want to put this in your mindset around the scalability and soundness of your business. So I am a small business owner. I try to approach this market center like a small business. My 4-year plan or 5-year plan at this point is I'll be the 40% owner of this market center. I'll be the operating principal. I'm not there yet, but that is our plan, right? So I walk around like I own the place. Not like, but because that's my plan, right? And so when people talk to me, I go, yeah, I'm a small business owner. So that means you probably catch me turn the lights off. Like I'm a small business owner, right? Right? Do you act like someone who owns a business?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you do own a business, but
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Right? And your
Yeah.
real estate business, you have two
Yes.
businesses. Think and act the wage you want. The Millionaire Next Door is a great book. If you haven't read it, read it. You know what they found out about millionaires next door? They drive used cars,
Yep.
right?
Gary Keller did too.
Gary Keller did too.
I think it was
Right.
a Ford.
I think Mo made him buy a BMW at some point because she said, Gary, we have this company and it's embarrassing. Right? And so he went and bought a used BMW. But it was a Honda Accord.
Oh,
it was
Honda.
a Ford and then a Honda Accord,
Okay.
a Ford Taurus.
Because I listened to his
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ford Taurus, I think it was.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Yep.
liked that car.
Yep.
Yeah. So I want you to start thinking about yourself and acting like you own a business. Like you own a profitable business. Because profitable business owners don't go out and then spend the profit. They reinvest it, right? Profitable business owners do what they have to do to keep the business profitable, right? So think and act the way you want. Okay. Revisit your profit net income goals. So what is your net income goal? What is your company dollar goal? Right? This is stuff we need to revisit on a regular basis. So my net income goal, net, for me, let's just say is 200K. Okay. How much am I paying company dollar? And cap? 25K, right? $22,000 company dollar, then $3,000 royalty, so I got 25K, right? Okay, my business expenses, let's say it's 30%. So, everyone do the math for me? What's 30%, or what is 30% of 225, I guess? And you'll have this do it for me. My 30%, right? 30, 30, 40. I gotta bring that in, so then what's my total gross? A plus B equals C. Right? Anybody know how to do this math? Do this math for me. How do I figure out the 30% there?
30% of 225?
6,750? Is that right? Doesn't seem right.
Yes, 67,
Yeah.
67,500?
67,000.
67?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so times 2.
135.
135.
Let's just call that. Okay. So 200K plus 135 is 335.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my total. So the total amount of money I need to earn is $350,000 to get to 200K with these expenses, right? Now, again, you're going to have a little bit different here than 30-30 right now. And I would strive to keep those as low as possible, right? But on average, a millionaire real estate agent has a 30% expense. 30-30-30. 30-30-40, right? So if I've got $335,000, what's my average commission right now? Let's just say the average home is $550,000. And right now the average commission is around 2.3, I'll say, 0.023. That on your side, so let's just call that times, sorry, 0.023 times 2 is about 0.4 and a half, about 4.5% commission, let's just call it that. So, but roughly 550, 1, 2, 3, times 2, 13,750, right? Is your average GCI. So 13,500. So what we need to do now is 135 or 335 divided by 13,750. All right. So 335, 1, 2, 3 divided by 13750 equals how many homes? Anybody do the math?
24.
24 homes. So how many transactions do I have to do to get my 200,000 net income?
24?
24. 2 a month. So I just want to point out, how many days are there in a month?
30-ish.
Yeah, 30, okay. How many homes you have to sell?
2.
2 to get to 200K? Sounds easier than it is. But when you break it down that way, you go, wait, there's 30 days in a month. Maybe I work 5 of them a week. Someone work 20 days a week. All I need to do is find 2 people who want to buy or sell a home every month, and I could have $200,000. So that means I have 20 days I'm going to work. I just need 2. So that means the other 18 days I can fail? Right?
I don't know. That's not how I would look at it.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like, does that make sense? I only have to get 2 viable buyers or sellers a month to reach that goal. Now, you're going to need more leads than that, but I only actually have to convert
Yes, 2 a
2
month.
a month,
Right.
right? So if I go make my phone calls and I talk to 10 people a day and I don't get any leads that day, should I give up?
No.
No, because I only need 2 sales, right? Now let's say that on my leads only convert at like 50%, right? So how many leads do I need to convert at 50% to get 2? What divided by, what times 0.5 equals 2? This is an easy one. 4. If I have 4 viable leads and I fail on half of them, I get 2 sales. Are you following me? Now I would argue, shoot for 8. Right? Try to get 2 good leads a week and convert at 50%. And even if you miss it, you're still going to get $200,000. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do those numbers make sense to you? How many leads do you need to generate a week? 2 a week is how many leads a month? 8? Is that enough? Might be, might not be. You're going to know those numbers by watching it. You may find I need to get 10 leads a month, 10 solid leads a month to get to 2 sales. Solid leads, not, well, I know a guy, okay, call me someday. A good lead is, hey, my coworker's thinking about moving. Awesome. Want you to text them and me right now. Well, I need to use permission. Why? Do you think I'm a creeper? Yes, Chris, I do. I know, but you love me anyway. Text us, right? That's a good lead is someone whose information I have and I have permission to contact. If I have 10 people that I have permission to contact a month, do you think I could close 2 a month? Right? If I have 8 people who I have permission to contact who are serious, legitimate buyers who are pre-qualified, think I could get 2 into a home a month? Where do they come from? 10 calls a day, 10 conversations a day. Your 5-5, whatever it is on social media, right? What is it, 5-5 what now?
10-5-1.
10-5-1, thank you. Good, I love that you know that. Okay, so this is the math, right? So then that's what we're going to get into is how many do I need to do to get there? So that's what I want you to focus on. How many leads do I need to generate a week to get to 24 sales? And I'm going to tell you right now, you can probably make more profit on 24 sales than $200,000 because your expenses are probably going to be lower because you're not running a team. These 30-30-40 is meant for running a whole team. You're an individual agent. So, what do I need to shoot for? Make it a goal every week to set X amount of leads. What do you think your conversion rate is going to be? I think your conversion rate on a real lead is probably going to be 50%. Like a real one. Not a wish and hope and dream in one, but a real person, right? 50%. So if I need to get 2, then that means I need really low numbers, right? So I'm going to shoot for 8 really good leads a month. So how many people do I need to talk to get your lead? I don't know yet. You don't know yet. I would set the number at about 20, just to start. I need 20 conversations to find a good, solid lead. That would be my guess, right? So how many people do you talk to every day to talk to enough to get your 20 conversations? If I talk to 10 a day, let's just do the math on that. 10 a day times 5, let's say, right? How many is that?
15.
And we said, but we're just averaging, let's say, a lead for 20. So then how many leads did you get?
2.
2. All right, so 50 times 4?
100.
100? That doesn't seem right. I was going to go with you. I was like, 100, that's correct. I was a history major. No, 200.
Well, you went with it, so.
I did. I totally went.
You're like, okay.
All right, so 200. 200 divided by 20? 10. 10 viable leads. How many do you need to convert? 2? A month? Do you understand the business plan? This is what I'm getting at. Like, there's no chance here. It's I just have to talk to X number of people every day, period. Because statistics, math says 6% of the population is going to move in any given year, right? And you know those people, but the people you know those people. And so your challenge then is to be in relationship with people to such a degree that when they think about buying or selling real estate, they think about you and they smile, right? So that when you call them, they're like, I was just going to call you because my sister-in-law is getting ready to sell. Glory be, she's leaving the state. Or, I don't know your sister. My sister-in-law are awesome, by the way. But does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So the bar, I'll be honest, it's not very high. But most people won't do it. Most people will not do the very minimal work that it takes to get there. Now, I will say this, it sounds simple, and simple is not easy, right? It's not easy to show up every day and throw yourself into the wood chipper. It's not easy to say, I need to get X number of leads, but I've been calling for 2 weeks and haven't gotten any. But what is easy is making it a game. How can I be closer to the people in my life? How can I serve them? How can I help? How can I make somebody smile today? What's my excuse to call somebody to make them smile? Right? I love my, and like I called 2 people yesterday who are in my sphere, and this was the call. I haven't talked to you in a while. I love you, I'm sorry. And they're like, I haven't talked to you either. It's okay, I know we're good. What's going on in your life? That's it, that was a call. Right? And then we talked for a couple minutes, and I had to go do something, and they had to go do something. That's the call. Yeah. Right? Now, I'm guessing there's probably 40, 50 people in your phone you can call that way right now, and they wouldn't think it's weird. There's probably another 150 you're going to call, and you haven't talked to them in years, and you've drifted. You're on the kids' soccer team together once upon a time. So the call then is, hey, you know what? You were on my mind. I know I'm talking to you, but what's going on? That's it. That's a call. Well, that's kind of weird. Yeah, I know. It's, if it's weird, hey, this might be a little weird. I love that. This might be a little weird, but you were on my mind. I looked at my phone. I had your number. I gave you a call. See what's going on. Yeah. Is that offensive?
People receive that well.
Totally.
They do.
Yeah.
That's how it was when I was calling them. They're like, oh my gosh, thank you for thinking of me. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. People love that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So make it a game. Have fun. Make it about connection. Because when you do, it gets easier and your life gets richer, right? And what you will find then is it gets harder to go to the supermarket because you're always talking to people. You'll find you can't leave church because you're talking to people, right? You're going to find that you become the guy or girl who knows everybody, right? And so when you call somebody and they say, yeah, we're really struggling with X, Y, or Z, you go, hold on, I know somebody. And you become the center of the web. Right? That's our goal. We make our community smaller. You're the person who says to a person, oh, you need to talk to Dr. Doug. He's awesome. And they go, who's Doug? How do you not know Doug? Right? Because you know everybody. You assume everybody knows everybody. Right? And then you have a client party. You get them all together. Right? So this is it. 2 a month. $200,000. How would that change your life? All right. Get paid at close. Check with your market center on the procedures. It's pretty easy. Upload your stuff to Command. I would recommend using Kathy for your TC. Kathy's an independent transaction coordinator, but she also does our compliance, so you have a TC who is doing our compliance, so you're going to get your check at the end of it. That's why I recommend her. But there are a lot of great transaction coordinators out there. Check with your mentor. When you're in mentoring, you have to use the mentor. You have to use the TC your mentor is asking you to, because that's going to help them manage your transactions with you, right? If you're on a team, use transaction coordinator. Team leader says, right? I will tell you this: my transaction coordinators, have been essential in my business over the years. My most recent one was I was doing business down in Temecula. Janet was amazing, and she was my first phone call when I had a question about a transaction, right? Because TCs see them all, right? Or hey, what language are people using on this right now? I make those calls all the time. I am not afraid of looking stupid. You may have noticed, right? Stop being afraid of looking stupid. Get a TC you can ask questions from. Call your broker. All those things. Cool. Ahas. Anybody? Oh, my coffee. Any ahas? Any takeaways? Any light bulbs?
It's great when you put the formula like that and you can actually see it that way and know, okay, when you have the numbers like that in front of you, instead of guessing or just on a whim, thinking, you know, this is how many I need to call, but it's not even right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess one thing is just the comfort, like whenever you say something like, I'm not good at math. I'm not good at math either, so it just makes me a bit more comfortable knowing that, you know, you're up there doing well. I can get there too, and then the fact that, you know, my main strength is like people, so that's where my strength is, and everything else that follows that, I'm not good at, and knowing that I have that web of help, that just makes me more comfortable.
Yep. Yeah. Be you. Be you. Now, does that mean you don't need to know anything? No, but know how to do it. When I go into a presentation, I'm not doing things on the fly. I probably have a spreadsheet set up with all the formulas kicked into it, and so I got their net sheet, and then I have a little formula like, okay, here's what happens to the commission if we change it. Click, 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 right? Or because I just don't trust me. I'm not even good with calculators, right? But I know how to do it. I love spreadsheets. I love them. I love setting up formulas, and then if I change this square, it goes, I'm like, it's bad, right? So, but you're right. You don't have to be Kevin Allen, right? Kevin is great with numbers. I'm not. You know, be you. What else? No ahas around the, yeah, go ahead.
I just have to ditto the, what you're doing as far as the formula goes, or giving structure. Making you kind of think a certain way rather than just grabbing stuff out of the sky, knowing what your weekly, daily, monthly, and annual goals are.
If I said to the average person on the street, how are you going to make $200,000 each year? What would they tell me?
Make a lot.
Crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Right now, you have a foolproof formula to make 200K this year. Right?
Yeah.
There's no, well, I don't know. But how do I do it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Talk to
Right
10
there.
people a day. That's it. That's it. You're going to suck at it in the beginning. Right? But you know what's going to happen after a month? It's going to be part of who you are. Right? You know what's going to happen after 2 months? You're going to find leads everywhere. Because it's who you are. Right? You're going to be the person who's at sporting events, and now you're talking to people because you used to be the person who read in your car. But now this is who you are. Because you are changing. Christy, do you want to say something?
I was just gonna ask you, in that 10 people a day,
Yeah.
that can include the market or kids sports. things like
Absolutely.
that, right? Not just picking up your phone and calling
Absolutely.
10 people out of my phone every day.
Absolutely. The easiest, fastest way to do it most intentionally is going to be in your database. But if you talk to 10 people a day in your database and your database isn't huge, you're going to run out of people.
Yeah.
Right? Because we talk to 200 people in a month. Now, I want to be able to make a phone call to people in my database once a quarter. So there are 3 months in a quarter. When we talk to 10 people a day, which are minimum, how many people do I need in my database to call everybody once a quarter? 2 times 3 equals 600 people. Right? 600 people. So if I don't have that many people in my database, what do I need to do? Get more people in my database. How do I do that?
Talk to more people.
Talk to randos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do open houses. I talk to people in the supermarket. I talk to people on the sports team. Right? I talk to people at church. I talk to people at Rotary Club. I talk to people at horse training. I talk to people everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I make contacts with people. Right? And I make it a habit to not say to them, here's my number, give me a call. I make it a habit to say, you know what, let me get your contact info. I would love to follow up with you on that. All right? That's how you do it. So if you only have 200, call them this month. Wouldn't necessarily call them again next month unless you have a good reason to, right? Well, the worst thing to do is have 200 people call them every month and say, do you know who wants to buy or sell a home? Or, hey, I'm calling to give you your monthly market update. That could be okay with some people. But if I called you this month and I said, hey, we've got this incredible thing we're doing, I want you to be part of it, that's a good call. If I called you next month and I said, hey, we've got a client event going on, it's going to be something for you kids, I'd love you to come, that's a good call, right? So if you're calling them more than once a quarter, have a good reason, right? And there's a lot of reasons too. But build that database up where it's impossible to call everybody more than once a quarter, right? Should you just call them once a quarter? Nope. You should be sending them, hey, before I let you go, I've got this incredible email that it's gonna, you probably go to Zillow to find out how much your house is worth or what's going on in your neighborhood. Okay, stop doing that. They're selling your information. I won't sell it, but I want to put you on my neighborhood nurture. It's going to send you a market update on your neighborhood once a month or every other week if you want. Where can I send it to? Cool. All right, I'm going to call you in a month. I'm going to ask if you looked at it. I want your opinion. What'd I just do? I set expectation of a call in a month. Right? So use these tools, right? Use these tools. All right. Moving on, commit to the success systems for life. We talked about in the beginning of class, and I was a little bit like horrified. Your daily success systems. Read them out loud. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 10 conversations, 10 contacts added, 10 handwritten notes, 10 5-1 social media engagement, enrichments, appointments, agreements, closings. What's an enrichment?
Things that will help you develop your skills.
Give me something that's a thing, though. Don't tell me about the category. Tell me about the thing.
Like this.
Like
What's
what,
that?
taking classes.
Classes, enrichment. Thank you. Well done. What else?
Books.
Books. Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Shift. Millionaire Next Door. The Simple Path to Wealth. What's that?
Things on the web.
Yeah.
Training on the web.
Training calendar. Absolutely. Yep. Yep. Okay. Millionaire Real Estate Investor. Right. So there are things you can do to keep broadening your mind. So think again. Act like the wage you want to earn. Every CEO I know is a voracious reader.
Yeah.
Right? Period. Most of my business library came from CEOs that are in my life. Because when they were done with books, I picked them up. Right? And when I interviewed for this job, I could speak that language. Because I'm a business owner talking to business owners. You want to form the mindset of a millionaire real estate agent. So start learning the language, read the books. I say read the books, but I mostly consume them on Audible now. Right? I listen to the books. It's not as good, but I get to do it. Right? Right now I'm listening to The Infinite Game, Simon Sinek. It's challenging, but I'm recognizing it from conversations of how people in the Keller Williams ecosystem. Right?
The Infinite Game. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that.
12-week year is one that I know
Yeah.
the whole team loves. That's a great one, so I know a lot of our top racing teams love it. The One Thing is a
Yeah, that's a good
fantastic,
one.
right?
Atomic Habit.
Atomic Habits, absolutely.
Good one.
The Think Like a CEO podcast with Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. You literally get to sit with Gary Keller for half an hour, right? If I told you you could sit in the room with a billionaire who's going to tell you how he got there for half an hour once a week, would you do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you do on a podcast. Gary Keller. Think Like a CEO. It's actually really good.
Yeah.
And you kind of get to know Gary, and he's a so there you go. So importance of accountability. Oh, let's go back to this for a second though. 10 conversations, 10 contacts added, 10 handwritten notes every day, every day, every day. So Jerry Seinfeld, when what he does is he knows if he writes jokes every day, he's going to be successful. Period. And this was how he became Jerry Seinfeld. And so what he does is he has a calendar. I believe this is in the One Thing. I think that's where I read it. He's got a calendar. Okay, good. He's got a calendar every day. And so what he does is in order for him to be successful, he writes a joke every day. Period. Has to happen. Non-negotiable. Right? So on the calendar, all right, wrote my jokes today. Boom. line goes through it. Red line he uses, not red pen. The next day, he gets through it. And the game he plays with himself is he doesn't want to break the chain. If you get in the habit of lead generating every day, and that's okay, you can do 5 days a week if you want to, you can go for 6 if you want to, and you get this many hashes on your calendar, see how far you can go without breaking the chain. Right? Snapchat knows this is true, that's why they have streaks on Snapchat. If you have kids or you're on Snapchat, right? Streaks is a terrible name, by the way. But I will talk to young people who are like, oh, I can't break my streak.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because Snapchat knows the power of this.
Yeah.
Right? So start having your streaks, which if you have young boys and their body, it's a totally different thing when they're potty trained. Anyway, but just get in the habit of it. Make it your thing. Walk into each other and be like, 45 days. Where you at? Right?
Yeah.
Make this group your group that pushes each other to be stronger. Right? If someone comes in, they're like 2, don't be like, oh, I'm kicking your butt. Like, oh my gosh, how can I help you? Right? But you should be able to point to that and say, I did it every day. Every day, I did my success systems, my 10 conversations, my 10 contacts, my 10 handwritten notes. We just proved that you can do it in an hour, your 10 conversations. Because most of you got 6 done, and I saw a lot of hemming and hawing. If we just make it, you're going to get it done, right? 10 contacts added, that's going to be a little push.
Yeah.
You can do it. Social media is a gift because they want to connect you with people. So you just go and you do that. 10 handwritten notes, I'm embarrassed by my handwriting. That's my limiting factor there. I'll tell you that's true. You know what? Get over it. Get over it, Chris. They're going to be like, man, how did he make it? I'm so proud of him. Right? And they see my handwriting. Does that make sense? Good for him.
Get there.
I never knew. Right? That's okay. Let them be proud of your handwriting for you. All right? Make it a habit. Get your streak. Okay. Importance of accountability. If you knew that you went out to do your success systems, but you couldn't get back in the room without a call log that said you talked to 10 people, would that have motivated you?
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to start doing that in Ignite in the next session. Because accountability keeps you focused. Right? I have a call with my mentor, Marion, every Tuesday. I know I'm going to have to answer some questions. Marion's nice. Her accountability is sweet. Hey, what can I do? How can I help you? What are you struggling with? Right? She knows the numbers. I know she knows the numbers. It's very supportive accountability. I have my coach on Thursdays who says, tell me your net. All right, well, how many appointments have you had? Chris, you can have results, you can have reasons. Right? That's victim talk right there. God, I love her. I've got a call today, I'm nervous. Anyway, but she's nails, man.
Yeah.
It's okay to get both. It's okay to get warm accountability and nails too. Right? You've had coaches who loved you there, and you've had coaches who you were terrified got you there. Be that for each other. Right? Be that for each other. Use your mentor to keep you accountable. One of the things that your mentor should be asking you about is your lead generation. Right? And if they haven't, you need to tell them, you need to ask me about my lead generation. That's what I want to work on. Okay. That's our relationship here. That's okay. Challenges, so keep you focused and positive. They remind you of your big why. They challenge you and they make you uncomfortable at times. A good coach doesn't leave you where you are. A good accountability partner doesn't say, I know you've got so much going on in your life right now. I don't even know how you're doing it. They're like, all right, well, suck it up, buttercup, right? I know you've got a lot going on in your life. So does everybody else. You can have results, you can have reasons. So how are we going to do it? Let's look at the calendar. Or you know what? Meet me here tomorrow. We're going to do it together. Right? I just said to my team, we're going to role play every day after a huddle. You know why I did that? For me. Because I know I'm better when I do it. Right? So being the accountability partner is good for you too. They challenge you to make you uncomfortable, and it's one of our 6 personal perspectives, be accountable. Right? So have that. All right. Types of accountability. Accountability partner, your productivity coach or your mentor, your KW MAPS coach. So I've got my mentor and I've got my MAPS coach, right? Tools, the 4-1-1. If you're not familiar with that, it is 4 weeks, 1 month, 1 year. We take that, what's your big goal, your 24 units, and we break it down to how many people do I need to talk to today, right? Or this week? Well, I think on average, we said probably need to talk to 40 people a week. We're going to start with that number. So on my 411, and I'm running out of time today, guys, but that's okay. We still got to graduate and whatnot. Okay, so on week 1, I have to talk to 40 people. I have to add 40 contacts. So I've got 40 contacts, 40 combos. I've got to write 40 notes. Right? I'm just going to start with that. So let's say I get to the end of week 1 and I only did 20 combos. And I only did 15 contacts. And I did my 40 notes because that was the one that was easiest. What do I have to do next week?
Make up the difference?
You have to make up the difference. Yeah, because your big why doesn't go away.
Mm-hmm.
Your big goal is not negotiable, right? And so the 411 is an accountability tool. So you go, you can have results, you can have reasons. Crap, I only did 15. I got to hustle, I need to add more time to my calendar, I got time blocking, right? And so it keeps you, by the end of the month, you can make sure that you spoke to the amount of people, the 160 people you needed to get to your 24 units. Right? And if you spent the first week talking about, well, I can't because this, or I can't because that, or I can't, guess what? Next week there's more. Right? So time block it, but the 411 is a great tool for that. And time blocking, obviously, read the one thing. Gary and Jay get into this. The power of incremental leaps. Right? Little things done every day add up to big things. So your 411 will help you with that. Okay. Any ahas? Any slides I've got left? Anybody?
Just that last word you just said, little things add up to big things.
Mm-hmm.
And keeping track and not breaking the chain, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Set it up for yourself. I'm going to say this just pretty bluntly and clearly. You can't do this at home. You can't. You have to come in to do it, particularly at this point in your life. Because I know that if you have a gym membership, you're more likely to work out. I know if you have a gym membership and an accountability partner, you're much more likely to work out.
Yeah.
I know if you buy weights and you put them in your garage, you're probably never going to use them, right? There's an industry based on that, right? I know if you buy the gym membership, but you don't have an accountability partner or a mentor or a training coach, you're also likely not to use it. That's why Planet Fitness has a genius business plan. They sell memberships to people who don't like working out, so they never show up. So they have tiny footprints, right? It's makes sense. You signed up to be massively successful, so you need a training group to do that with. So you should be here every day, not to walk around and drink the coffee or eat snacks, but to go in and do the uncomfortable work. So you can walk into Sam's office and say, Sam, I'm here to do my lead gen. In an hour, I'm going to come back and I want you to ask me how many calls I made. Right? You could call your mentor and say, hey, I'm going to be in the office doing calls. When we have our meeting later this week, I want you to ask me how many I did. You can call each other. If you don't have each other's contact information, there's 6 weeks this went by. Get it. And you can say, hey, I'm coming into the office to lead gen. I want you to be there too. Well, I can't because I've got work this afternoon. That's this afternoon. Come in this morning. Oh, I was out late last night. Okay, good. If you want to be poor, that's good. I'm going to be rich. I'll see you at 9. Right? Mm-hmm. So that's accountability. But so use those things. That's aha that I have from this. I want this place to hum with the expectancy of your success. And the only way it happens is if you do it here and work together. Period. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Any other ahas?
It's super important, like you said, just to be yourself. And it's okay to not know everything, because I was like that last year. And I was just so worried. It actually prevented me, I think, to get even more business, because I was just so worried to talk to people, because what if they ask me a question like, how's the market? And I'd be like, I don't know. So I started just to kind of go with the flow and just be like, you know what, whatever question I didn't know, I don't know, but let me get the answer for that for you. And then I would learn, so the next time that question was asked, I'd already know it. So it's okay to not know. It's okay. It is what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? I talk to top producers all the time who didn't know. I had a transaction that closed. I think I've talked about this before. It closed, and my clients moved out 2 weeks before. They moved all their stuff out, including the refrigerator.
Oh.
You guys know where I'm going on this one. The water line on the refrigerator leaked
Oh, no.
for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So the day of closing, or the week of closing, the other agent, who was wonderful to work with, I'm glad I work with a pro, she went into the house with her clients and said, we got a big problem, there's water everywhere. I said, what do you mean? I'd never encountered that before. Well, but I had after, right? I knew exactly what to do after. And luckily, homeowners insurance covered it, everybody was good. Those people send each other Christmas cards now, right? That's a win-win, right? That's when you're doing the right thing.
For sure.
But I was on the phone with another agent who was so pissed at her broker about a couple months later. She said, you know, I had this thing happen at closing, and they moved out early, and I said, in the water line leaked. And she goes, yes, how did you know? Because it happened to me, but it had never happened to her before, and she does 50 units a year, right? Right. Are you ever going to know everything?
No.
Only by experience, but no, you're never going to know it.
Yeah.
So don't let that stop you. Make being learning-based the foundation of your career. Mindset and accountability. The 6 personal perspectives. Bold. Keller Williams Bold is going to take you from 10 calls a day to 20 conversations a day. You think that would have power to impact your business?
Yeah.
Yep. You're going to work as a team, and if you don't score, your team gets penalties. Accountability built in, right? Quantum Leap is Gary Keller's course on how to design a life by, or how to make a life by design, right? I'm actually a trainer for that. We're going to be offering it next year at Cal Baptist for the students there, right? And the community. I'm pretty excited about that. We'll do it here too, but that's a great one to design your life. KW Command, right? Command your business. People say, oh, it's just, I don't know how to use it. Okay, good. You didn't know how to ride a bike at one point. Get over it, right? You'll feel the wind in your hair soon enough, but you won't unless you get on a bike. So command. Smart finances. Profitability, agent finances is a great course on that. Business planning clinic. Our business planning clinic is unbelievable at how powerful it is to help you set that. Hiring, if you don't know how to hire, the career visioning. Tanya has taken it 6 times, right? She's also had a lot of success in retaining employees. I don't think those 2 things are exclusive, right? I do the career visioning process every time I hire somebody. When I work with a team to bring somebody on, I met with one of our top agents yesterday. She's bringing on a buyer's showing assistant. We went through the career visioning process, right? Sales skills, connect live videos. You go to kwconnect.com right now. There's a ton of stuff. No ceilings, level up your lead generation, train the presenter, customer experience, win-win negotiation. There's so much that Keller Williams offers for you, right? Diversity, equity, inclusion. The color of real estate, unconscious bias, agents of distinction is a class we created to help our agents be better, right? Because the chances are you're gonna help someone buy a home or sell a home who doesn't come from the background you came from, who doesn't see the world through the same lens as you do. That's not a bad thing, that's just reality. But knowing how to help people is what we're about, right? That's just who we are. So agent of distinction, that's what that class is about. It's about how can I be aware of the biases I bring? How can I help people when I don't see the world the way they do, or I don't have the background that they do, right? So it's a great course to take. All of these things are here for you. We want you to be the very best. I don't think this is set up right now for you to do that, so I don't want your feedback. No, I do. Here's the feedback I want, your success, period. That's the feedback I want. So, any ahas from that little bit right there? Yes, sir.
You as an instructor,
Yes,
I think you do, not to fluff you up, but the way you explain it is simple.
Yeah.
And to the point, and maybe don't flower it up too much, and that's even better. So
Good.
the accountability factor is definitely a help.
Okay. Well, look around this room. They're going to keep you accountable, right? Commit to that. What else? Yes?
I was jotting down quickly all the books and podcasts you're listening, so
Yeah.
definitely gonna add it to my list.
Good deal. Yeah. Well, if you're looking for any more, just come by and ask, right? Or ask around the office. Ask Suzanne, ask Noreen, ask Kevin Allen, ask Sam Offman. Sam is a voracious learner. You know, ask Tyler. Tyler's always got something. I mean, he's always got a book recommendation for me. Blue Fishing, I think, is one that he recommended I really enjoyed. You know, so that's it. You're in a community that wants to share. That's not every office, but it is yours, so take advantage of it. What else? Any ahas?
Going back to the podcast.
Yeah.
I just recently got a new vehicle, and I learned the other day, while I was at my kids' sporting, sitting in the car,
Yeah.
on my screen,
Yeah. Yeah.
it actually has, when I put it on my Apple Play, there's a podcast app.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
So I was listening to the Dolly Parton one in my car the other day.
There you go.
It's built into my vehicle.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's so many
I
good
can drive
podcasts
home
out
back
there.
and forth here now listening.
That's right. Yeah, I do every day. I mean, I drive 40 plus minutes here every day. More like 50 in the mornings.
Yeah.
I can't wait for school to get out.
Oh, I know.
Okay. So, and you know, like on, I listen to Huberman Lab podcast. Dr. Andrew Huberman, he's a neurologist. I really, really enjoy that podcast. It's the science of better living, essentially. I listen to Think Like a CEO.
Yeah.
I listen to, Linda McKissick's podcast. Everything Life in Real Estate. Linda McKissick and Dana Gentry. Really good. I listen to Real Trends podcast. That's an industry podcast. It's more about brokerage management, but it's good. What else do I listen to? Myths and Legends. That's just goofy. I just like that show. The guy tells like myths and legends in a funny way. When I listen to the kids, but I listen to all. I mean, does that make sense? Because I'm learning based, right? But learning is only as good as action. So learn something, go master it. Right? Any other ahas? Anything else? Can I just one aha I want you to walk away with? Your massive success is not far away. Your success in this industry is not far away. It isn't. You know what I mean? Like you know, some people will tell you, and I've heard this from agents coming from other companies. Well, I know it's going to take me, you know, probably 6 months to a year before I get a transaction. Who the hell would start that job? Pardon my language. Why? Why would you think that? No, hey, my buddy John Ray, I talk about him all the time, 35 his first year. You know how he did it? He just did exactly what we told him to do, right? Saul did something like 16 his first, or 11 his first year, I think. Tyler, who is on his track to do a lot this year, I think he's shooting for 100. He's been in it for 5 years, I want to say, right? So your success is not far away. It's just not. It's only as far away as you want to make it, as your limiting beliefs will put it. Your success is right there, right? It's just a matter of doing the things you need to do every single day. So that's the commitment I want you to make. I want you to make it to each other. We are now done with our class. Design Your Futures, we've talked about that. There's a lot of the same stuff we talked about, so I'm not going to do the review. So I want to recognize our Ignite graduates. We should have Sam here to take photos, but she's not, and that's okay. So graduating from Ignite, Carlo is not here. So coffee next, right? Roberta Cook. Roberta, thanks for coming through the class. Roberta, this is your breakout year. We're going to do it. All right?
Yep.
So there you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we're posing for a picture, there's no one taking it. So that's good. Okay, good. All right, we'll have to bring your certificates to team meeting. Well, again, Tyrone, congratulations on your certification as a Keller Williams graduate. Expect to see it, man. I really, really do. It's all there. Good. And Christy Strait, the most country western name I've ever heard in my life. Seriously, do you karaoke? There you go, Christy. Congratulations, thank you. Can't wait to see you succeed. Katie Hawkins. Katie, come on up. Also, would be a good country western name. That's, also would be a good country name. Katie Hawkins. There you go. Congratulations, Katie. There you go. And Kaylin not with us today. David Sepulveda. There you go, David. Let's see see that closing. I know it's coming, man. I know we're gonna see one next month. Let's get it, all right? That means you're gonna get it this month and close it next month. All right, Jessica Sisler, come on up, guys. All right, Jessica, you have opportunity all around you every single day. Where is it? Grub Pal, absolutely. There are people who show up and they know you and love you, so go get that business.
All right.
Good deal. All right, and I believe that is all the tickets I have for graduates this round. If you believe you should, oh no, Joe, sorry, I got Joe here. Joe, Joe Parham, yeah, come on up, Joe. Come on up. All right, so Joe, thank you. What's that? Do it again, Ticket Mastery, Joe. Thank you, all right. And that is absolutely, I truly firmly believe that. If you, yes, Eric, I have no idea, so talk to Sam. It might have to do with the number of attended. I don't know. So if you didn't get one, you might not have met the minimum requirement to get it for attendance. I have no idea what that is because I don't work here. So, you, in the Keller Williams world, we don't take a class to say we finished it. We take it for mastery. So if you are on the road to mastery, my expectation is you'll continue to take this class. You'll get new ha-ha-has every single time. You'll take it until you get to CAP, right? And my expectation is that this group is like coffee that just keeps getting run through the grounds. Mm-hmm. You ever had that coffee? For me, I think of church, like that big perker that's been going on for like hours, and you get and you're like, I'm at church, but this is Satan, right? Like that. Does that make sense? It's just so condensed. You're going to get stronger together. You're going to go through it again, probably. You're going to get more condensed. You're going to get tighter. You're going to hold each other more accountable, and you're going to succeed together. So before you leave today, make sure you've got the contact information of people in this room so that you can text each other and say, all right, I'm showing up tomorrow. What time? I'll be here at 8:30, let's role play. Or I'll be here at 9, let's role play. All right? All right? Congratulations, guys. Proud of you. Go get the business. All right?
Thank you.
No problem.